Okay, so this is part 2 of professionalism and customer care. We finished at question number 7. We're now going on to question number 8. Explain the concept of professionalism. So if I then flick back to page 18, I can look down here, professionalism and integrity. Professionalism and integrity are essential. It is important to be honest and to live and work to a high moral code. This means setting the highest possible standards of conduct, includes keeping promises, carrying out all duties, and doing what is required to fulfill all work contracts with clients and the organization. It also means walking the talk, practicing what is being preached. For fitness professionals or exercise instructors, this would include maintaining your own training and your own activity levels. Okay, so you need to describe that and you need to put it in, explain the concept of professionalism. Moving on then to question number 9. For question number 9, we need to look at page 28 in your manual. So if I flick through my book, I come on to explain the importance of each listed factor when delivering excellent customer care and give an example of each scenario. So for example, teamwork skills. Why is it important to work as part of a team? So here, teamwork. Teamwork is vital for delivering excellent customer service as it demonstrates care for the customer across the company, not just one employee. As an example, if a customer wanted to know what best supplements to take for muscle gain, a level 2 instructor may not be in the position to advise them. So you could advise the client to go and speak to a colleague who is probably level 3, or he is a qualified nutritionist. So the importance here, and then an example scenario here. Being approachable and available to customers even when you're busy. So why it is important to be available for your client even when you are busy? So the fitness instructor can support customers in achieving their exercise goal from social inclusion. Another example is effective teamwork that works in the opposite way. If a personal trainer was overrunning for time, for example, as a fitness instructor, you would compensate for the lag in time. Teamwork also promotes positive morale, a true sense of belonging, which is mirrored by the customers by their experience. Okay, so why is it important that you are available even when the client is busy? So it helps that client feel that they are worth something and that they are valuable to the health club. Give an example scenario of that. It could be, for example, if you are with a client who is on a treadmill and another client is waving and trying to grab your attention, you may apologize to your current personal training client, go and speak to the other client and try and help them with whatever it is that they require, then go back to your client who is on the treadmill. This way, that will demonstrate to your members that you're always freely available and you're there to help no matter if you're with a different client. Then why is it responding within an appropriate timescale? Why is it important? So for example, if a client comes to you with a complaint that you cannot immediately rectify, why is it appropriate that you respond within an appropriate timescale? So here again, it makes them feel valued and that their feedback is welcomed. And here, the example I've just described. So question number 9 on page 28. Almost finished with this. We're going to look now at question number 10. Identify one verbal and one non-verbal method of communication. So if I'm going to bounce back now to page 26. Identify one verbal method of feedback and one non-verbal method of feedback. So here we could have one method of verbal feedback, and here we can have one non-verbal method of feedback, or choose one of your own examples. Looking at now question number 11, let's go all the way back to page 21. So give one example of negative feedback. Here we can see a little grid. We can go all the way down to body language. We have motivating body language and we have demotivating body language. So positive and negative body language. So this will help you when answering question number 11. Question number 12 is in two parts. Part 1, we need to go to page 24. If we look in here, approaching customers, we have a customer is walking around the gym floor lost, a customer is performing an unsafe exercise technique, and a customer is reading a notice board. First one, you see a customer reading a notice board. So here, approach a customer from the side and ask them if there is anything in particular they are interested in, or would they like more information on. Offer words of advice within your scope of practice as the fitness instructor, and seek advice from other qualified staff if you don't have the information. So go up to them from the side, introduce yourself as the fitness instructor, and ask if you can help them. If you can help them within your scope of practice, then help the client. If you need to refer the client to another personal trainer or somebody who's more qualified, then also you can do that. I would also look at it as a personal opportunity to maybe upsell some of my own services within that time frame. So question number 12, approaching the customers. We also have, you need to explain to a group of customers that a timetabled exercise class has been cancelled. So what are you going to do, coach? So if we look over to page 26, we are looking at example, the studio instructor had to cancel their class at the last minute due to illness, and there is nobody else in the centre qualified or experienced to cover it. So number 1, approach the customers and apologise. Number 2, explain that the facility tried to contact other instructors who are available but to no avail. 3, take full responsibility. Number 4, offer alternatives. So for example, if they were going to do body pump, maybe on the gym floor, you could do a toning class. So this will help you in answering that question. Question number 13, we're going on to page 27, dealing with angry customers. So when working in the fitness facility, you're approached by a customer who is frustrated and unhappy. Complete the table to explain the appropriate and inappropriate actions for each stage. So the first stage is the customer begins to explain that he or she is not able or not happy with the availability of equipment in the studio during the class. What will you do? What action is appropriate? So here in this little box, we could listen without interrupting and thank the client for their feedback or bringing the issue to your attention. An inappropriate action, what do you think you wouldn't do? So for example, I wouldn't walk past the client and ignore them. You explain that you have recently had to remove some equipment for health and safety reasons, and that it should be back in working order by the end of the day, and customer is not happy with your explanation and begins to get angry. So I could take ownership of the complaint, I could be polite, and I will always remain calm and never enter into an argument with the client. So you could describe it in that box. The inappropriate action would be enter into an argument with the client. Next part of the question, following a further attempt to defuse the situation and satisfy the customer, he or she is still not happy, and you become aware that you are unable to resolve the problem. So you've tried your best to fix the issue, and now it becomes apparent that you cannot. So you would follow organizational procedures, record the complaint, offer a point of contact. So you would escalate the problem up to your line manager. What would you not do? Shrug your shoulders and say, well, there's nothing I can do, and walk away. The day after the discussion, you find that discussion with the customer, you find out that the maintenance engineer cannot repair the following equipment until the following week. What would you do? You could inform the relevant staff of the problem and communicate to the client and update them with the progress. What will you not do? Not follow up with the client. So this little grid, we can look in this section on page 27 of your manual. Moving on to number 14, we need to jump back to page 18. Identify one benefit and one risk of using social media platforms in the role of a fitness instructor. So here we have the benefits of social media, and here we have the risks of social media. Benefit, enter 1, risk, enter 1. Almost finished with this unit. Lastly, question 15. Identify 2 social media platforms and give an example of one type of information that is commonly shared on each program. So social media platform 1 and 2. Here we have examples of social media platforms. Give an example of what information is shared. Here we have examples of what information we share on whatever platform. So I hope that helps give you some hints and tips on how to complete this unit. If you've found it helpful, like and subscribe onto the YouTube channel for more information for level 2 and level 3 personal training diploma. Thank you.